Class 9th Lesson 5 Dead Man's Riddle mpboard books. Summary of lesson explained in English and Hindi. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and click the bell icon. All the brothers in a family want to get their share in their parent property. Sometimes they get into arguments. In the villages, the Panchayat decides the disputed cases of property. The elders call the brothers who fight for the property. The property is almost equally divided by the elderly people. The youngest brother chooses his part first. The village elders were important. Their decisions were final. Neither party approached the court. Once a sarpanch tried to solve a property dispute in vain. He told the following story. A rich man lived in our village. His 3 sons always disagreed with him. The rich man's friend, Sumant, told him that time would teach his sons everything. The rich man died leaving behind 17 horses, lots of gold and land. In his will he divided the land and gold equally. He wrote that half of the horses, 2/3 of the remaining half and 2/3 of the remaining should be given to the elder, the second, and the third son respectively. It was a riddle because 17 horses could not be possibly divided. The rich man's friend offered to divide the horses. He made his own horse stand along with the other horses. He gave 9 horses to the elder son. Out of the remaining 9, he gave 6 horses to the second son. 3 horses were left behind. He gave 2 horses to third son. The condition in the will was fulfilled. He took his own horse and went home. He advised them to seek advice of some experienced person whenever they found something impossible. The 3 sons happily agreed to the Panchayat's division of their property.
परिवार के सभी भाई पैतृक संपत्ति में से अपना भाग लेना चाहते हैं। कई बार उनके बीच विवाद हो जाता है। गांव में संपत्ति के झगड़ों का पंचायत फैसला करती है। बुजुर्ग लोग संपत्ति के बारे में झगड़ा करने वाले भाइयों को बुला लेते हैं। बुजुर्गों द्वारा संपत्ति का लगभग बराबर बंटवारा कर दिया जाता है। सबसे छोटा भाई सबसे पहले अपना हिस्सा चुन लेता है। गांव के बुजुर्ग लोग निष्पक्ष होते थे। उनके निर्णय अंतिम होते थे। कोई सी पार्टी न्यायालय में नहीं जाती थी। एक बार एक संपत्ति के झगड़े का निपटारा करने में एक सरपंच निष्फल हो गया। उसने नीचे दी गई कहानी सुनाई। हमारे गांव में एक धनी व्यक्ति रहता था। उसके 3 बेटे हमेशा उससे असहमत रहते थे। सुमंत नामक धनी व्यक्ति के मित्र ने उसे बताया कि समय उसके बेटों को सभी कुछ सिखा देगा। 17 घोड़े, ढेर सारा सोना और भूमि छोड़कर धनी व्यक्ति मर गया। अपनी वसीयत में उसने भूमि और सोने को बराबर बराबर बांट दिया। उसने लिखा कि घोड़ों के आधे शेष आधे घोड़ों के 2/3 और अंत में शेष घोड़ों के 2/3 क्रमशः सबसे बड़े दूसरे और तीसरे बेटे को दे दिए जाएं। यह एक पहली थी क्योंकि 17 धनी व्यक्ति के मित्र ने घोड़ों का बंटवारा करने की पेशकश की। उसने दूसरे घोड़ों के साथ अपना घोड़ा खड़ा कर दिया। उसने बड़े बेटे को 9 घोड़े दिए। शेष 9 घोड़ों में के उसने दूसरे बेटे को 6 घोड़े दे दिए। 3 घोड़े बच गए। उसने तीसरे बेटे को 2 घोड़े दे दिए। वसीयत की शर्त पूरी हो गई। उसने अपना घोड़ा लिया और अपने घर चला गया। उसने उन्हें नसीहत दी कि जब कभी उन्हें कोई बात असंभव लगे तो किसी अनुभवी व्यक्ति की सलाह लें। पंचायत द्वारा उनकी संपत्ति के बंटवारे से तीनों बेटे खुशी खुशी सहमत हो गए।
Often, when there are two or more brothers in a family, they want to divide their parents' property between them and get into arguments and court cases over this. In the villages, the panchayat decides how the property should be divided. In my childhood, I used to attend meetings of the panchayat with my grandfather where the division of some villagers' property would be discussed. The elders would assemble and call the brothers who were fighting for the property. If there were 3 brothers, they would make 3 divisions of the property, each of approximately the same value. For example, each part would contain a little bit of gold, some silver, and vessels. The values of all the articles in each group would be approximately fixed by the elders of the villages. It was difficult always to make the value of each part equal to the others. In such a situation, the youngest brother would get to choose his part first. The logic behind it was that he had stayed the least number of days with his parents. In those days, in villages, staying with parents was also considered an asset. The village elders were all well respected and everyone knew they were impartial. Their decisions were final and no one went to court against them. Going to court for such matters was considered a waste of time and energy. There is a saying in the village that if 2 feuding parties approach the court, both parties lose money, only the advocate becomes rich. Once, there was such a disagreement in the division of property of a certain family. The Sarpanch tried his best to make the brothers agree to a certain division, but they just would not accept the decision. Finally, Sarpanch Samgauda told a story which everyone listened to carefully. It seems, a long time back, in our village itself, there lived a rich man. He had 3 sons who never agreed with their father about anything. The rich man had a friend called Sumanth, who was well educated and very wise. He would say, "Time will teach them everything, don't be in a hurry." One day, the old man died. He left 17 horses, lots of gold and land for his sons. He wrote a will which was very strange. He divided the land and gold into 3 parts, but for the division of horses there was a riddle. Nobody could understand the riddle. It said, the half of the total horses should be given to the elder son, in the remaining half 2/3 should be given to the second son, and what remains out of that 2/3 should be given to the third son. 17 was the total number of horses. Half of it meant 8.5 horse to the elder son. That meant one had to kill a horse to divide it. Subsequently 2/3 of 8 would mean one more horse had to be killed. The old man loved his horses immensely and would never have wanted any of them killed. So what did he mean? The brothers scratched their heads for a few days over the will. When they could not come up with a solution, they showed the will to their father's friend. Sumanth read it and smiled. He replied, "It is very easy. Tomorrow morning I will come and divide the horses." The next day, everybody assembled in the ground. All 17 horses were standing in a row. Sumanth came on his own horse. He made his horse stand along with the other horses. He said, "Now there are 18 horses. I am as good as your father. Let us divide the horses as per the will." But the sons objected. "You have added your horse to our horses, that was not our father's wish." Sumanth said, "Don't worry, wait until the division is over. I will take my horse back. Out of these 18 horses as per the will, half will go the elder son. Half of 18 is 9, so the elder one gets 9 horses. Now there are 9 remaining. Out of 9, 2/3 means 6 horses will go the second son. Now there are 3 remaining. 2/3 of 3 means 2 horses out of 3 will go the third son. 1 horse is left, which was anyway not yours. It is mine and I am taking it and going home. All the people who had assembled were puzzled. The 3 sons did not know how the division took place without killing a horse. They went to Sumant and asked, "Uncle, how did you manage without killing any horse?" Sumant smiled and said, "Experience has taught me many things in life. Your father also knew it. Many a time a work may look impossible. But if someone gives the smallest suggestion, you can work on it. That is the reason your father wrote his will in such a way that you were forced to take somebody's advice. You may think you know everything, but please remember you are still a student. Life is an eternal teacher, provided you have an open mind." Samgauta concluded, "That's the way elders have taught us lessons. Experience is the best teacher in life. Elders have seen many ups and downs in their lives and interacted with many people. During the process they have archaico knowledge which can't be taught in a school or college. It has to be learned over a period of time. Now it is left to you people to make the decision." The 3 brothers, after listening to the story, agreed to the Panchayat's division of their property. Answer each of the following questions in about 25 words. 1. How did people used to get the property divided in urban areas? All the brothers in a family wanted to divide their parents' property. Sometimes they got into arguments. Under such circumstances the people in the urban area used to get their property divided through court. 2. What did the villagers think about going to the court? In the villages, the Panchayat, consisting of respected and neutral elderly persons, decided the cases. Neither party used to go to the court. The villagers thought that both the parties lost money by going to the court. Only the advocate becomes rich. 3. Why was the younger brother given priority in choosing his part? Sometimes it was difficult to make equal distribution. Then the youngest son was given priority in choosing his part. The reason behind this practice was that he had stayed the least period with his parents. It was considered an asset in the villages. 4. What was the will of the dead man? The will of the dead man was very strange. He divided the land and gold equally among his 3 sons. There was a riddle for the division of his horses. Half of the total, 17, horses, should be given to the elder son. Out of the remaining half, 2/3 should be given to the second son. Out of the still remaining, 2/3 should be given to the third son. In this way, the will was a complete riddle. Answer each of the following questions in about 50 words. 1. How did Sumant divide the property? Sumant used his experience in dividing the property. He made his own horse stand along with his dead friend's 17 horses. He gave 9 horses, 18 times 1/2, to the elder son. He gave 6 horses, 18 to 9 equals 9 times 2/3, to the second son. He gave 2 horses, 18-9-6 equals 3 times 2/3, to the young son. He gave them 17 horses and took his own horse. In this way, he divided the property. All the 3 sons happily agreed to the division. 2. Experience is the best teacher in life. Why? Man has made tremendous achievements from his primitive age to this day's glorious civilization. This is a miracle of the power of knowledge. While the primitive man was a slave of nature, the modern man has harnessed, controlled, and mastered nature. Ignorance created fears of nature in the mind of man. Experiments and failures have taught a great deal to man. He has gained knowledge with his bitter experiences. The same knowledge or experience has unfolded great blessings of nature. Man has exploited them for his betterment. Experience lends one courage and fearlessness. It is one's best teacher in life. The man who feared crossing rivers are crossing skies. Experience is also a great power. It has helped the man achieve sure, steady, and splendid progress for better living. 3. What lesson do you learn from the story? We learn many lessons from this story. It teaches us that experience is the best teacher in life. Practical knowledge comes from interaction with many people. It can't be taught in a school or college. It has to be learned over a period of time. Life is an eternal teacher. It teaches only those who have an open and receptive mind. Never hesitate to seek advice of others whenever some work looks impossible to you. There is no harm in working on the smallest suggestion of others. A. Narrate how you were benefited with the elders' advice to be regular in studies. 50 words. Answer: ours is a joint family. At night we take our dinner together. One day my mother told my grandparents, uncles and aunts about my poor performance in all the subjects. The elderly people of the family did not show any anger. Rather, they called me aside. They told me a lot about the need and utility of education. They said that failures are the pillars of success. They also told me that a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. They advised me to be regular in studies. I put my heart and soul in studies. I burnt midnight oil and stood first in my class. Their advice and my hard work brought magical result. B. Life is an eternal teacher. Express your views. 150 words. Answer: man is a social animal. He goes on learning one thing or the other from one quarter and the other. He learns a lot from nature. Nature provides us energy. It is a part of our life. Even the green trees, plants, weeds, and leaves are full of lessons for us. We learn from nature that one who destroys nature destroys himself. It teaches us that we should not lose our communion or bond with nature. We learn the lessons like slow and steady wins the race. All that glitters is not gold. Where there is a will there is a way. Act in haste and repent later. Cruelty always begets cruelty. Do not be greedy. A single trick does not succeed all the time, etc. From animals. Life means contacts with people, birds, animals, beasts, plants, flowers and trees. Every item on earth can teach us something if we observe its uses and utility. The entire life is an eternal teacher. A. There are certain things which are not taught at schools or colleges. Think about such things. Answer: the teachers at schools and colleges teach only what is prescribed in the syllabus. They cannot teach everything on earth. A science teacher would not bother to teach the students the rules of the games. In the same way, a physical education teacher is not supposed to teach about the law of gravitation. Every teacher has his own limitations and duty requirements. Many things, such as moral education, sex education, etc., are not taught by teachers. In the same way, there are uncountable things which the child learns from society. B. Sometimes things look impossible, but they can be made possible by a little effort. Is it so? Answer: everything looks impossible for a newborn child. He can neither stand nor run. Parental help and self-efforts make the same child run, and drive vehicles. Cowards alone learn nothing. Hard work is the key to success. Proper guidance, devotion, dedication, and perseverance turn everything impossible into possible. Impossible is the word found in the dictionary of fools. Nothing is impossible nowadays. Man has overpowered nature. He has reached even the Mars. Our success in life depends on honest work and a strong willpower. A little effort brings great success. Subscribe the channel and click the bell icon so that you can get the latest videos. mpboard books will be available in this channel. Like and share this book so that it will be beneficial for the students studying in home in this lockdown. If you like this video, please comment and share by John Sir.